Okay, not mad. It's pretty good. Good morning, beautiful people. It is a fine, crisp, nearly winter morning, late morning. The sun is already high in the sky. Long time no see. So I actually haven't filmed a video in probably about a month. While I have been busy doing other things, Meg has actually, ooh, it's dark in here. Meg has actually picked up the slack, my slack, and she has gracefully been handling the videos, which has been kind of cool. But man, it feels like a long time since I picked up the camera. So I figured I would talk a little bit about what's going on today. I feel like I'm a broken record at this point. I got to clean up the barn for our coming pig class. Last we talked, I think it was actually before our November class, if memory serves. Cleaning up. It's amazing how fast the barn can get tore up and messed up. I'll show you what I've been working on. So you might see this thing in the background. This is a frame for stretching a hide. I think Meg talked about it in one of our last videos. I got me a buck, and I have been working on tanning the hide. I got 2 deers this season. I got a buck, I got a doe. I still have tags I can fill, which I may fill. But I would like to say how much I appreciate people who know how to tan hides. It is a lot of work. So I thought it was kind of cool. I actually got this one. This one will somewhat lay down. So it's somewhat soft. Yeah, there's a few holes in it, but I'm pretty proud of myself. I'm happy. The doe skin I did is a lot softer. This buck had a pretty tough hide on him. So I'm pretty happy. One more of those. Use as much of the animal as possible. It's kind of cool to be able to do that. So I figured I'd talk about that. All right, so this is what's left of the hide after you get finished tanning it and getting it all worked over. It's a bunch of work. Like, it is a bunch of work. You cut it off of the little spots that you have hung the hide with. So I've got to untie all of this, get the frame taken outside, and start working on getting this barn cleaned up. Oh, and in the meantime, we also had kind of a small party in here, which was pretty cool. I wish it was still decorated. You can still see the lights are still up. I think we're going to leave those up. Those are nice. I made a couple benches, and we put all 4 of our 8-foot tables in here. So we had 2 16-foot tables, and we had a bunch of friends over, and we cooked a whole pig and kind of had a party. Like, it was cool. We didn't film any of it, but that was kind of fun. We did that too. So the barn is really in kind of a disheveled state. Everything got shuffled around and moved, and yeah. So I'm going to get untying all these strings and start cleaning up. So I will say, I know there's going to be some people interested in curing a hide. If that's something people would want to see, maybe I'll make a video about that if I end up getting another deer. I had a hard time finding decent videos on how to do this on the internet. I actually turned to, off-grid Google and relied on books for the information on how to do this. So I don't know, if there's interest, maybe I would make a video on how I tan a hide, but we'll see. All right, there we have it. Most of the way set up. There's just a little bit more to do, fixing tablecloths and washing lugs and stuff like that. But that's stuff I will do probably Thursday. It's kind of hard. We are finally into some cold weather. We are into the time of year to do a pig class. It's supposed to be in the teens Friday morning, the day of the class, the first day of the class. Teens, like, that's pretty cold. It's ideal. And then it's going to be in the teens overnight too. So that means I don't have to borrow my friend Jason's cool trailer necessarily. It's going to be cold enough I can hang them in here and they will probably freeze by morning. That's gonna be cool. The hard thing about doing that is I can't leave our little mobile sink plugged into water because all of the water lines will burst. Still have to put away my music stuff. I will put that away later in the week because I like coming down here and playing guitar, even though it's freezing. Pardon the air compressor. It is a barn after all. All right, so in here, I have some bacon that I smoked during the week last week. It is ready to be sliced up. Bunch of bacon. I actually rigged up a cold smoker. The last time I smoked bacon, I hot smoked it. I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all compared to the cold smoked bacon that I've done in the past. So I will actually show you as I go up to the top. I'll show you my cold smoking setup. It worked magically. Like it was amazing. I have this Oklahoma Joe's smoker that we got at an auction. Picked it up. I think I only paid like 40 or 50 bucks for it. Like it wasn't much. And then also there's this little stove that Meg picked up at a different auction, and it's just been kind of getting kicked around. It needs legs. I actually bought 2 legs for it and then went to go put them on and dropped it and broke the 2 good legs that were on it. So I went up to 4 legs and then back down to 2 legs. So it's sitting on blocks right now. Anyways, I put some stovepipe on, ducted it into the smoker, and that then allows us to cold smoke. Wednesday last week, right before Thanksgiving, I set this up and just built a small fire in that stove, and the cook box stayed under 100 degrees the entire time. I smoked for 24 hours. That's why that bacon looks a little dark. It is very smoky, and it, like, just touching it is like, whoa, smoke. So that's gonna be some good bacon. I hope I didn't over smoke it, but we'll find out. I'll get some on the slicer, get it all sliced up, and throw some in a pan, see how it tastes. All right, I'm gonna get this bacon in the house.
Yes, is there more bacon?
Nope, that's it. Anybody who has attended our classes, you guys will recognize this is bacon we did at a class. I talk about leaving the skin on, and that's why there's a lot of greasy, grimy gunk from the smoker on the skin. We set them skin side down, do all the smoking, and then right before I go to slice them, I cut that skin off, and then we throw it on the slicer and make bacon. So that's why. You can see most of them are pretty caked. So not too bad, actually. Actually, all of the outside is pretty smoky, so we'll see. Usually I don't smoke that long. I think the longest I have cold smoked something was like 16 hours, and it was perfect. This time I wanted to go 24 hours just because I was trying out that new setup, and it was holding temperature, you know, no temperature. It was just ambient temperature. I only had to add wood like every 3 or 4 hours. Like it's really cool. An actual stove works so much better than trying to build a fire and babysit it. Low maintenance is better. I'm gonna grab a knife and I'm gonna start peeling off all of this skin and getting ready. I'm actually gonna slice off a little bit of this with a knife and throw it in a pan and fry it up. Ooh, it looks good inside. Gosh. That's beautiful. Cooked down to nothing. All right, I see that a certain sleeping baby is no longer sleeping.
Yes.
Would you like a giant slab of bacon?
Be there momentarily.
You will be there momentarily. All right, well then I will imbibe without you. It's very hot.
Oh, very hot.
Way thicker than I like it, but
Not bad.
it tastes like bacon.
Mm-hmm.
It is not too smoky. Okay, not mad. It's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
All right, before I get plugging along with this, I figure you guys will see Meg in the background and be like, what the heck is Meg doing? The time has come to deal with summer's produce.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
I'll let you explain what exactly you got going on.
So Brett pulled all the tomatoes out of the freezer for me, and I'm just got them in the oven defrosting because I didn't pull them out last night. So they're defrosting, and then what I will do is spoon these out into the food mill and get them, milled, and then I'll continue cooking them until the sauce is thickened, and then I'll can the sauce.
So you've already done this. You did this a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, I did one batch, and I had pulled them out long enough. Like, I pulled them out and defrosted them overnight, so all I had to do was just, like, dump them in the food mill because they were already defrosted.
So, like, freezing them actually skips a step and turns them into mush.
It does.
Whereas
yeah.
if you're cooking them fresh, you got to cook them to get them mushy, and then run them through the mill, and then cook them down and make sauce.
Yes, and the benefit with them freezing, too, and defrosting is a lot of the water comes out, and so I just pour the water off. Because the reason you cook it down is to get rid of the water. So it also kind of bypasses a step, and it makes the time for cooking a little bit shorter. So
it's kind of nice. Is a slicer a necessary thing to own? No, absolutely not. Does it make life easy and slightly fun? Yes.
Slightly fun.
All right, that is all I got cut. My bacon got too warm in here. You know, Meg's got the oven on, so it's a little warm in here. It feels really, really nice because it's like, what is it? It's not even 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It's 3:30 in the afternoon, and it's like quickly dropping.
Yeah.
I would say it's probably around 37 right now outside.
Outside?
Like it's cold.
In the shade for sure.
Like in the shade, it is very cold. Like it's frosty in the shade.
Yeah.
So I took all my bacon, I threw it in the freezer. Get it real cold. That freezer's, you know, down at like -4, I think.
Yeah.
So the bacon's probably nice and cold now. It'll slice real good.
Yeah.
The tomatoes are turning into mush. I was gonna show.
We got the last batch in the oven heating up, but yeah, that's what's coming out. So
you just warm them up, get them to turn into mush, and then put them in the food mill.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, once I have all of them ready. I'm not gonna get it all out right now while you're doing that, but.
Well, then I will try to finish up all the bacon so you can mill tomatoes. All right. I'm not even aware when the camera stopped recording. I just quit paying attention and it just kind of timed out. Here's what we got. We have a lug full of sliced up bacon. You know what? I'm actually going to count this. That was 1 pig worth of belly. The reason it was in smaller chunks is because it has to fit in vacuum bags. And then it also has to fit on the slicer. That's why they're so small. But yeah, that was only 2 bellies. Doesn't look like a whole lot of bacon. Like I can tell you right there, that's like a month's rations of bacon. So I'm gonna count this real quick. I'm curious. I want to see how many it is. 32 and 33. Now I get to put them all back. 33 individual packs of bacon, plus the bag of ends, which we might just fry that down and make bacon grease out of it. I don't know. It's about a month's worth of bacon. 33. That would be a pack a day. I can tell you right now, these packs. That's enough to where if we cook 1 pack for breakfast, everybody gets like 2 pieces of bacon. That's not enough, so usually we eat 2 of these in a meal. We only have 2 pigs worth of bellies left until the end of our season. It's like, uh-oh, that means we have to start rationing the bacon. All right, so it is that time of the night, or evening, afternoon, whatever you want to call it. It's dinner time. Meg is currently nap trapped, but it's okay. We've hired some help. These are our chefs. They are making us some tacos tonight. We call them poor man's tacos. Rather than like carne asada or anything special like that, we just throw some usually ground beef in the pan, brown it up, season it, bam, you got tacos. In this case tonight, it's ground pork. Oh, this guy's really protected from the onions. Are you crying? Are those onions really spicy? Occasionally these guys will come and help out. Tonight they're helping out with dinner, so we're glad to have you guys. You guys should stay for dinner. Somebody woke up the baby laughing so hard.
I did.
Now the baby's looking over there like, Who the heck is in my kitchen? I don't recognize those people. Woke up from a nap, and then there's two strange guys in the kitchen.
Cooking dinner.
So there's a lot going on in this kitchen right now. Trying to cram and get dinner done. And because of getting nap trapped by this one, kind of put the whole tomato thing behind.
Yeah. So we're gonna try to do that real quick. If I can at least get it into a puree, then I can just stick it on the oven. It can simmer for the next couple hours until bedtime. And then because it's outdoor refrigerator season, we can just stick it outside.
Having temperatures outside that get down to freezer temperatures is super handy.
It is really handy.
Like
I love it.
For 3 months out of the year, if we don't want to stick something in the fridge because it's going to heat up all the food in the fridge.
Yes.
We can take it and usually we go stick it out in the well house.
Yeah, because there's a door, so it's
sealed from animals. We'll just throw a lid on stuff, go stick it out in the well house, and get it in the morning. Brett, I mean, what is your name?
Eugene. I call him Eugene.
Eugene?
Yeah.
The ground pork looks delicious. I am ready to eat some tacos. Message to my mother. I have surprisingly very fond memories of doing this job right here, but then I also have not very fond memories of the entire house smelling like tomato sauce to the point where all of our clothes smelled like tomato sauce. I think what's weird is like doing it now, doing it at this age. I think back to those times when I was a kid and my mom would be making tomato sauce and canning tomato sauce and the house would be 1,000,000 degrees. Pretty fond memories. And so it's kind of cool 30 years later. Yeah. Wow. That makes me feel really old. Like literally 30 years later, being able to do it with my own family is kind of cool. Everything's ready. Let the taco feast begin. Please bless this food for our bodies in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
And my favorite thing out of those all is the onions.
Tacos were delicious. Thank you. That actually hit the spot.
Yeah, that was great.
And I mean, I guess it's more of the same, blending all of these tomatoes and everything, getting them all milled. So we're gonna leave it right there. All right, we'll catch you guys on the next one.
Bye.
Well, we got like 4 people over here working on this, trying to get it all done.
Yep.